Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Abdallah with another exciting Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle here. This was a battle that I took off of one of my weekend live streams that I hold every weekend, so you guys should definitely come over and check it out. Alright, this was against Chad here, and looking at the team preview, it's pretty intimidating. This, I don't know if it was back when Mega Mom was banned, Mega Kangaskhan or not, but I don't think I've ever fought one before. That thing is such a beast. He's got Mega Manectric, potentially. He's got Mega Garchomp, Espeon, Greninja, Aegislash, and Mega Mom. That's crazy. Now, as you guys know from watching my live streams, I like to grab a bunch of pokes and see if they work. Not really anything too professional or too, well team built. So I grabbed Noivern, Scizor, Mienshao I never got to use. I grabbed Lead Smeargle, Azumarill, and Togekiss. So I'm afraid of that Espeon, especially because I've got my Smeargle. Now, whenever someone packs an Espeon, it's always Magic Bounce. So I'm always weary about setting up rocks or using Spore. So I decided to lead with Noivern. Now, I've got Noivern's ability as Frisk, so I can find out what items are there. Now, he goes for the Fake Out simply to do some damage. And using Fake Out for Mega Kangaskhan is pretty awesome. But I was surprised that he didn't use his Mega first turn. But either way, it doesn't matter. He goes for the Fake Out, and right now I'm thinking, okay, well, that's fine. Now he goes for Sucker Punch. Now, since he's Mega, he's actually going to get 2 hits on this, because Little Baby attacks as well. That's the ability on Mega Kangaskhan. Anyway, with my Scout over here, I'm just going to fire off some really strong Draco Meteors. I like using Noivern as a Scout. I typically run U-Turn with it, and I love running the White Herb as well, just so that I can kind of fire off 2 of them if I need to. But right now, knowing that he's got Sucker Punch, I'm not going to stay in, because he's going to go for it again. I take that opportunity to switch into Scizor, which I believe I can take any move that he hits. So, being that he's going to switch out, I'm thinking, alright, well, maybe I could pick him off with a Bullet Punch. So I go for the safest play of the Bullet Punch. He does a great job in predicting that. Goes into his Manectric. Now, I know that Manectrics do carry Flamethrower, so I'm definitely not staying in. I'm going to go back to Noivern just to see what item this guy has, because I want to find out. But he's got his Mega Stone. So he's packing 3 Megas on his team that he can bust out one of them at any moment in time. So, as my Scout Noivern over here usually does, I'm just going to drop a Draco in hopes that I hit, but no, he misses the Draco. Lame. So, I don't want to get hit by a Shadow Sneak, so I'm not going to go for U-Turn. I'm just going to straight switch out into Smeargle, knowing that he's going to go for it. I mean, what Aegislash doesn't carry Shadow Sneak? Seriously. So, that was a good prediction on my part. Now, I'm going to start setting up and just going from there. I was kind of weary that he'd bring in Espeon straight away. But either way, I mean, it doesn't matter. Even if I do bounce a Spore right back to me, it's not that big of a deal. So I went for the Spore anyway. I nailed the Kangaskhan on the switch. Now, I don't think that he's going to need Kangaskhan anymore, so I continue to set up, because I think he's just going to fodder it out. Now, I got my Sticky Web up, and I got him there, so I'm going to go for the Stab Extreme Speed off of the Smeargle. I definitely love running that set because it's Stab and it's +2 priority. So you can use Smeargle as a revenge killer in case you need to, you know what I mean? So now the Sticky Web up, I'm pretty much faster than most of his entire team. He's going to go for King Shield, not really sure why. Maybe he's thinking that King Shield protects from Spore, but it does not. It only protects from any kind of attacking moves. So I get this guy asleep, which is awesome for me. Now, I'm going to definitely take advantage of this and send out Noivern. Now, I want to see what item he's carrying, just so I have a little bit more advantage. And he's got lefties, so maybe more of a bulky set. Looks like he went for either Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak, you name it, an attacking move. Now, the smart thing to do right now would be going back to King Shield, just so he gains that defensive boost, but he doesn't for some reason. I was really surprised. Maybe he was just going to go for an attack. But either way, I nail a Draco on his attack form, and although it's stab and not very effective, it does about half, which is very good. And unfortunately, I wasted my my White Herb previously on that Kangaskhan. But you know what? We're going to switch out because I don't want to attack him with my Noivern anymore, because he's going to use Shadow Sneak. So I'm playing this game where I'm kind of predicting what he's doing, and switching in my appropriate counters to him. So now he's going to switch out his Aegislash. I'm going to go for Spore again because it really doesn't matter if Espeon comes in. I want to get something asleep because that's pretty much what my Smeargle does. So luckily for him, he finally catches on to my Smeargle's shenanigans over here. He bounces that Spore right back to me, and that is a terrible feeling. Let me tell you, I don't like it when that happens. But it's okay. Now I've got sleep fodder in case he decides to put anything to sleep. Anyway, he goes for Psyshock right off the bat, and that is going to hurt my Togekiss because it's a physical attack, and this Togekiss is a little bit more on the special side. But I was very surprised that he didn't stay in, simply because he could have knocked me out with another Psyshock. So I just go for the Air Slash either way. I figured that I just death foddered this guy out, but he actually lived to, tell another day. Now, as you guys know, Togekiss, he's known for his Serene Grace flinching hacks. So I'm praying to the hacks gods, and I get the flinch that I need. He's not liking it, so he decides to switch right back out into Greninja over here. Now, I'm very glad that I got Sticky Web up, or else I wouldn't be able to outspeed half these pokes. All of his pokes are very quick. So I go for the Air Slash. Bam, that was on the switch. Now, luckily I pack Aura Sphere, and he wasn't able to change up his typing due to his hidden ability Protean. So he was still a Dark type, so that helped out. I mean, Air Slash would have been a very, very risky play. I don't think it would have killed. But here we go. Espeon's back in the house. Now, this guy can probably take an Air Slash or an Aura Sphere and then retaliate back with a Psyshock. So that's a good move on his part. Unfortunately, I do not get the Para hacks or the flinch hacks. He goes for the Psyshock and knocks out Togekiss. So Togekiss actually did some work. That was awesome. Life Orb damage is definitely helping him out because it's giving him that boost in attack. Now, I know that Scizor can wall Espeon, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to eat this Psyshock, and I'm going to start setting up. Now, Scizor is really good at setting up, let me tell you. He can bust out a Swords Dance, and he's fairly bulky, so that he can do it multiple times, especially if you go into a Pokemon that can't touch you. You can get to +6 very quick. Alright, so now the Espeon reveals Reflect, which is like, well, you know what? That kind of negates my Swords Dances here. So I said, you know what? I better go to +6 to negate the Reflect. And then once that Reflect goes down, I'm going to run Train on this team. And plus, Life Orb Recoil is definitely going to kill this guy off. So I'm packing Roost on my set as well. Not too many Scizors carry Roost, but I definitely do just in case. Just in case you get, +6 and you need a little bit more health, Roost on the switch, just like I did right over here, and you're going to be great. So he's saving that Espeon for some reason. I'm not sure. But I'm packing Priority Bullet Punch, and that's going to be my key to victory here. So Scizor is going to bust out the Bullet Punch. That's +6, but keep in mind, that's under Reflect there. So I would have one-shotted this Garchomp without any trouble. So he's going to go for 2 Earthquakes. I'm like, wow, that did half, so I'm going to stay in and go for Roost, just to stall out the turns of the Reflect. And luckily I survived with 2 damage. Now, I'm just waiting for this Reflect to go off. Bam, it's off, now it's time to run Train. Here we go. Get that big Bullet Punch, knock out Garchomp. Who else has kind of come in that has priority? Manectric does not carry priority. That's a dead Manectric right over there with that Bullet Punch. No Flamethrower to the face here, Scizor. You live to tell another day. Knock out this guy. Now there's only a couple more turns left. So I'm like, okay, well this is it. I got it in the bag. Now here comes Aegislash. Now Aegislash versus Scizor is not the best matchup, simply because there's a lot of mind games involved. Involved with hit the stance changes, involved with Shadow Sneaking versus King Shielding. Now keep in mind, I'm at +6 right now, and I'm focusing on going back to full health, because I don't want to risk any crits and ruining my day, So right now, I'm just going to go for it. He's in attack mode, or in attack form. I'm just going to go for the Bullet Punch, and just to see how he's going to play. He goes for the ever so obvious King Shield, and so I'm actually going to lose 2 of my stat boosts. So I'm down to +4 here. And that's unfortunate. But see, now, if you continue to play this game right with predictions, it's anyone's battle. If he can predict my Roosts and then go for the Sacred Sword, he could knock me out. Because judging based on how much this is actually taking from him, he may be able to knock me out. So right now he's going to go for Sacred Sword. Now that is a move that is going to seal the victory for him. That did a very good chunk. That's a good like 40% right there that he knocked off of me. And he's got lefties to boot. So right now I know that he's going to go for King's Shield. So I'm going to predict that and go for the Roost to get my my health right back up. And this can go on and on. You know what I mean? So it's all about, you know, predicting around that Aegislash. But as of right now, the game's pretty much in the bag. All he has is his Aegislash left, and he decides to flee from the battle. It's okay. I mean, sometimes you have to concede, and he was tucked away in the corner with only the Aegislash left. So I had, who did I have in the wings? I had Mienshao. I didn't even bring to battle. I had a Azumarill that could have easily came in and, you know, done a whole bunch of stuff. But that was a very good battle, Chad. I enjoyed it. So thanks for coming out to the Pokemon live stream that I did. And you got your 15 minutes of fame. It was a very long battle, but at the same time, it was a very good one. I definitely like the idea of bringing 3 potential Megas. That's kind of cool. But at the same time, I think that's kind of bad, because then if you choose 1 Mega, then the rest of your items, it's like you didn't bring a Pokemon with an item. You know what I mean? Well, let me know what you guys thought of the episode in the comment section below. I'm always looking forward to reading your comments. Do me a favor, before you click away from this video, hit that like button, because we're bringing back the Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battles. I've got a whole bunch of them to record, so I'm very excited to relive through these. If you guys have some more time today, by all means, check out my channel where you'll find a bunch of Let's Plays. We're currently doing Bravely Default, a fantasy RPG for the 3DS. We finished up Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze 100% walkthrough for Wii U. And we just more recently finished up hashtag Yoshi All Day with Yoshi's New Island 100% walkthrough. So all the links are in the description. Definitely go check them out. And I will talk to you guys on the next Pokemon X and Y episode.